be bold, be heard. Welcome to Unmute Your Mic with your host, Jessica Bell.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Unmute Your Mic. This is a place where people can come and share their stories and just unmute their mic, talk about their testimony and everything that is really leading them into the direction that they're going now in their life. And it really is here to inspire the community. And so I'm so happy to have Kate Ballard with me. She is a good friend of mine. She has an amazing story. Kate, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll just get rolling from there.
Hey, hi, everybody. My name is Kate Ballard. I live in the suburbs of Los Angeles with my husband and our 2 kids and our dog, Charlie. I will be celebrating a birthday next week, 39. I've made it. I like to say that we live a imperfectly perfect for us life. My husband and I are celebrating 9 years of marriage. We have 2 amazing, beautiful girls, Chloe and Indiana, 8 and 4. They keep me going, keep me moving, keep me, amongst everything else. And them and Adam are like my everything. So I was raised Jewish I call it the LA Jew. My parents raised us. We celebrated holidays. We did a lot of the city things to do, went to temple on high holidays, celebrated Shabbat and Hanukkah. I don't know that I necessarily ever had a connection to God before I knew God. After meeting my husband over, 12 years ago, I was brought into his family with welcoming arms, and I started to learn about faith. And after Chloe was born, she was about 2, I accepted Jesus into my life. And it wasn't until 2018, though, that I got baptized. And I was baptized with my husband in our then home church. We did it together, and it was a beautiful experience. And since then, my life has been just truly changed. And there's so much that's happened. I'm in the AA program now. I've got over 5 months of sobriety. Lots of people wouldn't say, "Oh, you look like you were in a program or you drank," but God willing, and just as He does, my day that I walked into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous was actually February 18th of 2020. So it was to the day 2 years after I was baptized. So it's been an amazing experience.
Okay, so to back up a little bit, you said that you got baptized, right? You said in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So what led up to that? Because like you said, you didn't really grow up having that personal relationship, with God.
Yeah.
And so what kind of led what led to you getting to that place where you said, okay, this is a move that I need to make in my life?
When Adam was with me and he kind of reaccepted Jesus. He was not practicing, but his family was very much in the church, and his grandmother's a pastor, his aunt, his sister, his brother, everybody was very much into the church. And so over the years, we started attending church, and we said the prayer and accepted Jesus together in the Rose Gardens, actually at the Natural History Museum with his aunt and his uncle. And I knew then that my life was going to change. And I almost thought that it was just going to be like, oh, okay, now I've gotten saved, so everything's great. So everything started happening, and it was kind of in the trenches of our marriage. And then 2 years later, we had Indiana, and Adam and I, we were in a tough place in our marriage. We were in a really tough place, and we always said, oh, let's pray. We did a lot of devotionals together. We would pray before we would leave in the morning. We would get counselship from his parents or other people of faith, but it wasn't there. It didn't hit home. And I remember going to a conference in Palm Springs that his aunt was hosting, and I saw all these incredible women just praising God and giving themselves to Jesus and just fully just in it. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I not like throwing myself on the ground? And why am I not praising? And I knew that I had God in my heart, but it didn't feel the same. And Indiana was 2018, so she was 2.5, and Adam and we had moved into a new place, and I was like, God totally lined this up for us. We really need to be better. And we were attending a church that we really loved and had a great pastors and great leadership, but still something didn't feel like it was there. And then I just kind of looked at him one day and I said, we need to get baptized. Like, God is calling me and you need an ocean to clear out your past. Okay. So I just need a bath, but, no, I'm not perfect in any way. He's an incredible person, but I just knew something was missing in my life, and I needed more, and I needed God in me, and I needed to have the Holy Spirit and to experience that. And that was like the first time I really heard the Lord speak to me. And so we went and we did our baptism together, and I went first. And I remember standing at the top of the stairs and looking at him and just like ugly crying. It was just something that just like came over me, and it just grew from there. For me, my relationship changed, and for me, my relationship with him changed, and with my children, and everything wasn't fixed right away, and nothing's fixed or perfect now. We just live with God in the middle of our family. And after that, it wasn't about like, oh, we need our tithes to pay this, or what. It was, everything was, we pay our tithes, we go to church every Sunday, we participate, we get involved. And it changed in our marriage, and it changed in our communication, and it kind of grew us to a better place. But I was still really heavy into addiction. I would drink, I smoked a lot of marijuana. I was doing things that just weren't what I was meant to be. And a lot of it was covering up depression and being a mom and in this world of perfection. And that's the only way I knew how to cope. Cover up all the childhood stuff, I grew up with a great family, but you can grow up in a great family and still have trauma that you don't even know about. So I was making the moves, and God was still pushing me, and I would ask him to help me or fix me, but I wasn't ready yet. I needed to live through that. I needed to hit my bottom. I needed to kind of recognize things that I was doing that just were not of my faith and who I wanted to be.
And I think you said some really great things, but a really good point that you brought up is it had to happen in your time. Right. So, a lot of times we can be around people who might rush us, or they're like, hurry up and you need to become this person and this needs to happen. But when it happens organically in your time, it's like you have that hunger and that yearning for God, because that's what he's placed inside of you. And somebody else didn't have to do that for you. So, of course, being around, amazing people of God, like, can inspire you and kind of like get you going, right? But you need to have that thing that's like, this is personal between me and God.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you, in the midst of all of this, you're going through these changes, God is doing these amazing things, but then you also have children. So how does that look with going through such huge, like, having a personal relationship with God, getting baptized, you and your husband's marriage getting on a better foot? Like, how were you able to do all of that and still be a mother, I guess is my question.
Well, I think it's our instinct. I think that we always want the best for our kids. And so we will fight and go through it. But I don't know that I was necessarily giving myself to them because I was still numbing myself so much. I was numbing myself in the pain of what I thought my marriage should look like. I was numbing myself through what I thought being a mom looked like. We have Instagram and it's like you like sit there and scroll and scroll and scroll and you're like, oh, well, I don't look like her. I don't look like her. So my days were spent trying to make them happy. But at the same time, I was in so much doubt and I would just ask God every day, please give me this strength. Please do this for me. Please. There was a point where I went back to work because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And it's almost like I ignored my children. Like I was here for them. I love them. I want only the best for them. And I try to model all of these things. I try to model prayer every morning and prayer every night. We would pray with them and read scripture, or they would go to classes at church, but it's still, I was still doing all these things. It was like a facade kind of, or facade, sorry, where they were looking at me and feeling all my insecurities and just wanting my love, but I wasn't even able to purely give it to them because I was just so numbed out. So, when you become a mom, it's instinctual to do these things. It's instinctual to love them and to care for them and make sure they're fed and that they have a great experience. We made sure that Chloe went to the right school that was fit for her. So I was doing these things because I was able to, but it still wasn't, I wasn't connecting. And so, I knew what I was doing, and I went back to work, and we had a nanny come at 6:30 in the morning until 6:30 at night, and it's like all I had to do was put them to bed, and then I would go and get high, or I'd drink a whole bottle of wine, or and then it was like this routine that I was on, and it's, if I could take it back, I would, but I can't, and so now it's showing them how to feel. It's showing them how to love. It's showing them how to give it up to God and trust that He has you on this journey, and that's the journey you're supposed to go on, and listen to Him. Listen for His voice instead of trying to keep up with everything else.
Yeah.
I had tried quitting drinking. I had tried quitting smoking. I had tried quitting all of these things. And then there was the vape pens, and, that was just mommy's medicine, or this is mommy's juice, so don't touch mommy's juice, it's in a wine glass, and I take these pills because they help mommy to feel better. So they were kind of just in this cycle with me, and it was just devastating to think back on that. So the day that I walked into those rooms, everything changed. That was God walking me in, because I had said so many times before, I had prayed and asked, like, please help me quit. And then I would quit for 3 days. And, the biggest thing about the program is that you have to turn everything over to your higher power. And for me, that higher power is Jesus. For me, that higher power is the Holy Spirit. For me, that is God in my life. And I think that was what solidified it for me, was this is my journey, and if I'm going to live the life He wants, I need help, and I need to do that. So now I can connect with my kids. Now I can connect with my husband. I can, but God never left me. Even before I got saved, He was always there watching over, waiting and waiting. And I think that's what it is. It goes back to in your own time, because He's always been there waiting for me. And I was like, okay, right, pastor. Yeah, I'm sure He's there, like you can't see Him. But the second I turned it over to the Lord, like my life just opened up. I mean, business opportunities for Adam. I had a mental breakdown at work, and God saved me through that. I was doing all these things trying to do what I thought was right. But if you live in his word and you let him allow that door to be opened and that journey to take, it's ever changing,
Yeah.
everlasting.
Yeah, that is so good. And it's so refreshing to hear you say, because like you said, a lot of us, we look at how people live their lives, especially on social media, right? So you've got the perfect looking moms and the perfect families and the perfect children, and they don't ever have any issues. But we know behind the scenes, a lot of people are silently struggling with things. Like you said early on, people might look at you and be like, you don't look like you would have any kind of addiction, like, because people think that things have a certain look to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's easy to hide behind those, because people, you're not homeless and asking for money, so people just assume that you're good. And
Yeah.
I think that's something that's so beautiful about having a personal relationship with God, is that he sees past all that, and he wants to get to like the core of actually who you are. And so I wanted to ask you, said you've been on this recovery process for about 5 months now, right? What has that looked like? Has it been easy? Is it like ups and downs? I know you said you turn everything over to God, but just more in like the tangible things for people who are listening, who maybe are considering getting some kind of treatment, or maybe they're in it and they're struggling. What kind of advice would you give them?
For anybody that's struggling, and I know it's a dark place, because mental health, depression, anxiety, binge eating, I mean, these are all things that I still deal with today. I've just removed the drugs and alcohol from my life. And it's the first 30 days were like, they call it the pink cloud, and you're just sitting on this pink cloud, like everything's amazing, everything's great. And the difference in my story is I went into the program when we were still in the rooms. I had 27 days sober when everything switched to Zoom and the pandemic started. So for me, walking into sobriety and being sobriety, it's been living off of Zoom, which is so difficult. But my only advice is to just just try, do what you can, talk to somebody. There are so many people that, even if it's not AA, it's find a therapist, find a friend, talk to. There's so many people out there that are struggling, and do what feels right to you. I was actually having this conversation with a friend earlier, and we were talking about journaling. I could not journal for the life of me. It doesn't make me feel good. But what makes me feel good is writing down bullet points for my day, writing down things that, having a gratitude list. I can't journal and like write like, today was amazing, or today was so hard and the kids did this and that, that just doesn't, that's not what feels for me. But what feels for me is having a gratitude list every morning and saying, I am grateful for these things. I read a devotional every day. I have my village of mom friends and my village of friends, even without children, that I call them truth talks. And I've just tried to open up, because there's so many people out there struggling, not just with addiction, but with mental health, with, you go manic, and there's up and downs every day. But for me, I just try to, every minute is a new minute. You can't do things. You can't plan for what's going to happen after this pandemic. I've got 2 kids that I now have to homeschool, and, I'm just taking it slow. For me, it was always go, 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 go. And I realized that I was going to cover up everything that I didn't want to sit in. Sit in your feelings. Sit in the feelings and listen to yourself and listen to what you need. Give yourself what you need. And if that's quiet time, that doesn't make you a bad person because you don't spend 3 days with your boyfriend because you just want to sit and be quiet for a minute.
Yeah.
Write it out, read, find things that make you happy. Do what makes you happy. Find that one person, and maybe it's just a stranger on Instagram, or it's your neighbor. I used to make big plans to plant and garden. Now every Sunday I go and I garden, and I have a whole vegetable garden and fruit garden. And, I would overbuy and overspend and do all of these things. And now I'm just like, wait, do I need those 2 pillows? Or is this just my manic and my craziness telling me more and more and more so I can put myself in a hole later and be depressed and eat, a Whopper and maybe a Big Mac too?
Yeah.
Take it back minute by minute. They say in the program, 1 day at a time. It's literally 1 minute at a time. It's okay to turn the TV on for your kids and let them watch for 8 hours straight if you have to. Mondays, I have to, even though we don't have weekends and weekday, everything looks different. Mondays are our chill day. I need that day to sit back, get on my computer, do whatever I need to do for my husband or for me, and let the kids watch TV. And I've finally accepted that's okay. Stop beating
Yeah.
yourself up. Find what's in you, in your heart, what you love. Gratitude, and I've learned to be honesty, because a lot of my character defaults are just hiding or just not being honest with myself. So if I can have a truth talk with my husband and say, look, babe, I am so overwhelmed. I need you to take the kids on Saturday so I can go to Starbucks and I can go get my car washed and I can go run errands or window shop or whatever I want to do. And that's just how it is for me. It's something that I had to be honest with myself. Um, I think depression and anxiety and all of those things make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing. But the best thing you can do is just sit and listen and try to kind of take those feelings over. And you're in charge. You can do this.
That's really good. And I definitely know that it's going to bless somebody. And I really love the fact that you said, like comparison really can really throw people off. They're comparing
Mm-hmm.
their life. And like you said, Monday is, you already have that. Like, this is my day. This is the day that I chill. I just get stuff done. And you don't put that pressure on yourself to live to some kind of standard that wouldn't realistically, you couldn't keep up with.
Yeah.
Um, and so another thing I wanted to ask you is, what does your story look like moving forward, right? So you have all these amazing things happening. God has done this beautiful transformation in you. So moving forward, what does the next 5 years of your story look like?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what tomorrow looks like. I know that I'm going to get up tomorrow. I'm going to pray. I'm going to write my gratitude list. I'm going to do my devotional. I'm going to watch church on Zoom because that's all we can do for now. And I don't know. I'm going to do my best tomorrow. And I'm going to be the best mom that I can be. I'm going to be the best wife I can be. And I'm going to be the best to myself and forgive and love and be kind. And I don't know. I know that my husband and I have set intentions for buying a house at a certain point in time. We have set intentions to, you know, have a certain savings or to do this or do that. But for me personally, I don't know what tomorrow looks like. I have to live in today, each and every day. I know that I wake up every morning and thank God that I'm awake and that my children are healthy, and that my marriage is, imperfectly perfect in my life. And that's all I know. I take it 1 day at a time, because you can have dreams and goals, and of course I do, but I still call myself a newcomer in the program. I've, put off starting any businesses or jobs or new ventures until I at least hit a year of sobriety, because I have to take it slow. I have to. It doesn't mean I won't do great things in the future, because I know I will, and God will lead me there. But for right now, I have to just take it as it is.
Yeah. No, and that's truth and that's real, because we can get in trouble by setting goals and then being disappointed if you don't hit them. So taking it day by day and being grateful as each day comes is, I mean, that's the best thing that anybody can do. And so, question also, what advice would you have for people who are married to somebody who maybe has an addiction or is going through a program? Any kind of support you could give to them, or even just to the person who's going through the program but is also married and a mother? just of how to maybe
Um,
balance and really stay grounded? What kind of advice could you give for them?
if you ask my husband how he, I don't know how he did it. I think he just loved me enough and was able to hold on. Advice for somebody in the program that's going through it: get a sponsor, work your steps, continue to do the work that the book says. Find your higher power. Turn it over to your power. Turn it over to your higher power. I like to say, let go and let God. Because whether your higher power is Jesus, whether your higher power is a doorknob, whatever it is, something is bigger than you, and give that up. Whatever your God, your goddess, your blessing person, whatever that is, give that up, because you are not in control. I talk to my sponsor every single day, every day, and she keeps me kind of in line. A lot of, things that I like to do are go, 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 but I finally learned to let go and let God, because I can't control it. We are not in control. If you have a partner who is in addiction, an active addiction, I'd encourage them to get on a Zoom. They don't have to identify, they can just sit and listen, but you're not alone. I remember my first meeting I walked into and I was like, wow, look at all these cute blondes, and most of them are moms and all different ethnicities, and nobody looked like a trailer park hooker. And, you are not alone. Just because you live in $1 million home or you live in an apartment, you are not alone. We are all the same. And, try it out, see how it works. Find your support, find your circle, and let go of it. Let go of the control, because you are not in control. So
That's really good. And you honestly are truly inspiring me, because it's just so amazing to be able to watch somebody walk a journey, and not only just walk it, but authentically walk it. And it takes a lot of courage to get out and talk about anything that you've gone through, really, but especially things that people might, give you a side eye about. And I think that's what we need more of. We need more believers who are willing to speak out and and say, this is, my life isn't perfect. Even if I post a beautiful picture of my family on Instagram, like, there are things that I'm struggling with, but the beautiful part of that is that God is constantly moving. And so I just have to say, I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored, and I thank you so much for being on my show.
oh my God, it was an honor to be asked. Are you kidding me? Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm going to put Kate's contact information down below. If you just want to know more about her story, we're definitely going to have to do a part 2, because as her life is steadily evolving, I know that there's more amazing things to come. And we only just tapped into a very small part of your story. So I thank you so much again, Kate. God bless you. And thank you again. I love you.
I love you. Thank you. And here for anybody who wants to reach out in any way or anything. So it can be a scary world, but we're here to support and, love one another. So.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. You guys all have a good night. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Unmute Your Mic. Be sure to tune in next time when Jessica takes her mic off mute as she continues her journey to find stories that inspire and uplift our communities.